Well, we're 21 weeks into the Biden administration, and it's so much bullshit going on this week. Last week, we left off with Biden wrapping up his first foreign trip after his sit-down meeting with Vladimir Putin. The two met to discuss all the matters at hand, and while we all watched, hoping that would bring forth breakthroughs, unfortunately, it was just that, a discussion. Vladimir walked away from the meeting still pointing fingers at the U.S. and refusing to accept any responsibility. And Biden walked away not trusting Putin would hold up his end of the bargain.
This is not about trust. This is about self-interest and verification of self-interest. I don't say, well, I trust you, no problem. Let's see what happens.
But we are tired of waiting to see what happens. We've been waiting to see what happens when it comes down to Russia, and we got hacked. We've been waiting to see what happens when it comes down to China, and they're building a $4 trillion Belt and Road Initiative. We have been waiting to see what happens with the border, and we have a stampede crossing over into our country and an overseer who still hasn't even been there to combat it. This waiting game is killing us. However, the wait may be over on the issue of Kamala going to the border. You see, after her sad plea to immigrants a couple of weeks ago saying,
"Do not come. Do not come."
Our real Commander-in-Chief DT said enough is enough and booked a trip to the border. 5 days later, Kamala did the same. Of course, it would take Donnie to light some fire up under her ass. Yes, Kamala is set to travel to El Paso, Texas on July 25th. Wait, El Paso? Sis, the holding cells in the immigration problem is at the Rio Grande Valley. The Rio Grande Valley is about 800 miles closer and is the main entry point for migrants from Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Like, do they think we stupid? Do they think we wouldn't notice? Kamala says she chose El Paso because of, drum roll please, Donald Trump. Yes, Kamala says.
It is here in El Paso that the previous administration's child separation policy was unveiled. It is here in El Paso that the return to Mexico policy from the previous administration was implemented. We have seen the disaster that resulted from that.
So let us get this straight. You're not in Texas to shine light on our immigration problem. You're not in Texas to witness the holding cages and check on the abandoned children. You're not in Texas extending support and assisting Governor Abbott in helping finish the border wall. You are here to point fingers and to save face. Got it. But she is not the only one saving face. Before Biden took his foreign trip, there was a lot of back and forth in Congress over the infrastructure bill. The House Dems would submit an offer and the GOP would reject it for too much spending. The GOP would resubmit a counteroffer and the House Dems would reject it because it didn't spend enough. The last counteroffer from the GOP was $928 billion, stripping the bill of what was not considered to be actual infrastructure. Well, according to Biden,
We have a deal.
well, kinda. Biden sat down with a group of senators and came to an agreement on physical infrastructure. However, the House Democrats are out there breaking point with Joe Biden's negotiation tactics and are beginning to lose patience in his leadership. So Joe Biden decided to pocket the bipartisanship bill until another bill that includes child care, education funding, and climate change is on his desk.
But if only one comes to me, I'm not. If this is the only thing that comes to me, I'm not signing it. It's in tandem.
But what does one bill have to do with another? This is exactly what the GOP is saying. Biden is hell-bent on tying these bills together. And if you don't get your way on one bill, you're not going to sign the other bill? That's not bipartisanship. That's petty. But petty is what we're about this week. And what says petty more than a back-and-forth internet war between two colored conservatives? Yes, Kim Klacik and Candace Owens got into a little cyber catfight last week after Candace stated her opinion on Democrats declaring Juneteenth a federal holiday. Candace said, Juneteenth is so lame. Democrats really need to stop trying to repackage segregation. I will be celebrating July 4th and July 4th only. I'm American. Also, at some times, I wonder when, if ever, Black America will wake up to the psychological warfare and perpetual brainwash to believe everything is racist. Like, when China starts talking about Black Lives Matter, how is it not obvious that we are political pawns? This is when Kim Clayson decided to respond to Candace, saying,
"You know what? Black people are not brainwashed. A lot of Black people in underserved communities know that it is classism, not racism." I said sometimes the loudest voices with the loudest platforms have the biggest mouths. And I said, this might come as a shock to you because of your lack of engagement in the Black community.
The two continued to go back and forth, resulting in Candace revealing that Kim used to be a dancer. And the word on the street is campaign funds might have been used for cocaine fun. But that is just hearsay. Candace also revealed that when she followed the money, Kim's reports were not adding up, with multiple charges going to companies that no longer exist and are or in bad standings. Candace says we really need to vet these candidates, claiming Kim possibly scammed her donors out of millions.
Let's clean up the conservative movement from the hustle of constantly running conservatives that have very interesting histories. All right.
Kim has denied any drug use, providing a current drug test, and says she doesn't have anything to hide, and the businesses are currently in good standing. And it's no secret she used to twerk something back in the day. And what Candace needs to do is focus on what's going on in Brexit, and that she is seeking legal advice on how to move forward. Woo, child, the ghetto.